So Verstappen leads from Hamilton. They're in a real tit-for-tat battle. The two of them miles clear of the rest of the field, absolutely in a league of their own, in conditions that they're always so strong on. And the battle carries on all the way up to lap 31. You've got Red Bull and Verstappen pitting the lap before Mercedes and Hamilton, which proved to be the right call. Got him up to speed and found him a bit of a gain as well. Verstappen just extending that gap to 5 seconds. And then a crucial moment in the race, a huge moment that changed it for the second half. Lap 31, they're coming up to traffic. Verstappen firstly comes up to a line of cars. George Russell, Lance Stroll, Valtteri Bottas, and he loses a load of time. The lap previous to Hamilton's off. He doesn't want to go off the racing line, basically. He doesn't want to take any risks. He wants to stick on the racing line, and he did, passing all of those cars, just stick on the racing line, or pass them on a straight where you can move, and then come back to the racing line for the corners. But Hamilton in this time has closed in a good couple of seconds, and the Red Bull's only just in front of him, and he wants to keep the pressure on. So what does he do? First time of asking, goes straight to the inside of George Russell at Tosa. But if I pause it here, you can see Verstappen's just up here now, just a few cars in between them, but not much time at all. He's managed to rein it back in very quickly in one lap. But you can see the crucial thing here, he's off the dry line. You can see the two wheel tracks that all the cars have been putting down for 31 laps. And Russell's basically keeping his Williams in there. He's in his own fight with Bottas and wants to keep the pressure on. And Hamilton, if he wants to come through here, it's got to come through on the wetter part of the track, the part here that's not got the dry line on. And that's what he does. And he actually brakes significantly softer than he did on the previous lap, even on his out lap. He's braking softer, he's braking earlier, he's cautious because he knows that he's on the wet part of the track. But it's still just too slippery, and as soon as he rejoins the dry part, he's not slowed the car down enough. He's carrying in too much speed. The front tyres grip up, he loses control and can't get around the corner. Off he goes towards the wall. An uncharacteristic mistake from Lewis Hamilton. Then he gets to the wall, just here. The last gasp antics for him to try and save it is just to boot the throttle at this point and try and just spin turn the car. So you got the rear just coming around like that and the front coming around like that to just save it on that runoff area on the outside, but it doesn't work. The gravel's too deep and he just bogs down straight into the wall, straight on, damages the front wing. And here he spends a minute now trying to get out of the gravel. This is time that is costing him pretty much not only the win, but any sort of chance of points. Because initially he can't find reverse, takes a while and he gets there. But look, as he's going back, initially he doesn't want to drop that right rear into the gravel. The left rear is clearly in, but the right rear there is just staying inside the asphalt because he doesn't want to bog down in the gravel. That's the number one thing that's going to rule him entirely out of the Grand Prix at this point. So he does that and tries another go at a little bit of a spin turn, but quickly realises it's not going to happen. Backs out of it again, and now he needs to find reverse again. And this time he ends up reversing all the way through the gravel and back onto the track finally.
So sorry, guys.
Yeah, that's fine.
Now, through this process, the team were on the radio to him, telling him of the cars that were coming up behind. And the reason that Lewis went all the way through the gravel is he didn't want to be stationary through the gravel because, again, that's the highest risk of being stuck in it. If you can keep the momentum going the whole way, you've got a better chance of driving your car through that gravel and not getting beached. And he did. He managed to get back on, and because it was done in a relatively safe manner, all things concerned here. The team were on the radio telling him who was coming up behind. Lewis managed to come on and just stay as far as he could to the right-hand side. He then gets going and he's back in the race with a damaged Mercedes, and he's down in 6th or 7th place as Daniel Ricciardo comes through there. He's got to make another pit stop. Everyone else has already pitted. His race is looking fairly run at this moment. Let's have a look at it quickly on board with Lewis then. Coming up to this line of cars, and you can see Verstappen at the front has just cleared this melee of back markers. We've got the Haas in front, and he manages to slow down before the Villeneuve chicane. So Hamilton's onto the wet part, but back onto the dry part before the corner, and that's so important. But this one for Russell, you see how close he is to Bottas in his own fight. Russell slows a little bit early for Tosa, but Hamilton just goes for it. He said it himself, he was a bit impatient with that one, and it ended up costing him a lot. So Hamilton's race looks pretty well run after a small error, but a big consequence for him being stuck in the gravel for more than a minute, losing a load of time, needing another pit stop. He's going to be well outside of the top 10 and on a recovery drive on a track that's probably going to be quite difficult to overtake on for a while as well, with just one dry line. But his race is saved by a crash involving his teammate and George Russell. This one's proved to be a bit of a controversial one, but it came just 20 seconds after Hamilton's back from his own gravel excursion. So Lewis has got back on. He's trundling round to the pits again with the front wing hanging off, but then immediately there's a safety car, which means no one can go very quickly anyway, so he's not losing out in terms of pace. And then there's a full red flag, which means the team can repair the car, and he's still in ninth place. So it saved him a lot, and he managed to excel in the second half to come back to second. But let's have a look at this crash, because, this one was